Time is a precious thing. Time to practice. Time to compete. Time to perform. Moments in history bound to a ticking clock. There is a point, though, when time can stop still. A snapshot. An instant. A flash of inspiration. Time is a precious thing. Time to shine.
Hello and a very warm welcome to the Motor Point Arena, coming to you live from the capital city of Cardiff! And the final champion by the Professional Darts Corporation. We are live on BBC Sport as we welcome the millions of viewers joining us around the world. This is the final, and these are the finalists. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome from Austria, a winner of the PDC ranking event and the European Championship finalist. Ladies and gentlemen, the gentle Mensur Suljovic. Ladies and gentlemen, and now the pride of Scotland, a two-time Premier League champion, the two-time back-to-back champion of the world, the Flying Scotsman, Gary Anderson!
Well, this is it, the final of the Champions League of Darts, and it sees arguably the greatest player ever to come from Scotland against the greatest player to come from a German-speaking part of the world, the standard bearer for that part of the world, and darts has exploded in popularity there over the last few years. Gary Anderson, the Flying Scotsman, a two-time world champion, and number 2 in the world rankings, against Mensur Suljovic on his debut at this tournament, up to world number 7, but still just the one PDC title to his name. Could it be a magical weekend for Mensur?
Well, he's having the time of his life here in Cardiff. A wonderful weekend for the Austrian. Can he cap it off with a win on that big stage? Qualified for the Grand Slam by virtue of getting to this final. But he's up against a formidable opponent in Gary Anderson. Obviously, he beat him in the group stage, but this is a totally different scenario.
Make no mistake, Mensur Suljovic's path to this moment in his life is a fairy tale. He was quite literally a refugee from the former Yugoslavia, moved to Austria, set himself up there, started playing darts with his brother just in local pub tournaments, and it turns out he was pretty good. But only over the last 3 to 4 years has he really started to realise his potential. Came over to the PDC, committed himself, played week in, week out in these cathedrals of darts that are the Barnsley Metrodome and the Robin Park Tennis Centre in Wigan, and he got better. And better and better, and this is his second big TV final. He wasn't ready, by his own admission, when he played Michael van Gerwen in the final of the European Championship last year. Is he ready this weekend?
Well, you hit the nail on the head there for me, Dan. That was the turning point for me, playing regularly and competitively most weekends on the Pro Tour. He generally played most of the European tournaments, didn't he? But rarely did we see him over these shores. He's reaping the benefits now with darts like this.
140.
140 for Mensur, first down to a finish.
99. Mensur require 103.
Touch and go, who takes this opening leg.
Yeah, always important as well, isn't it, to get a good start. Can still do it, despite that slip. Double 19. Ooh.
65. Gary requires 76.
16 for double top.
56. Mensur requires 38.
Both players missed one dart with their last dart in hand, but
It has to be 10 double 14, doesn't it?
I would think so. Yeah, his favourite. He's missed it a couple of times. But normally. Ooh, just below.
32. Gary requires 20.
2 darts missed at the double that bears his name, the Mensur. And he's punished. Gary Anderson, the man who was 6-0 down to Mensur Suljovic in his opening game of the tournament, he's made a better start in the final.
And both players a little bit dodgy on the double in the first leg. I suppose you can excuse that with the prize that's on offer.
Well, Mensur Suljovic, persistence has been key to his career so far.
70.
Important last dart there, saves that visit. He has made a number of PDC finals. As I say, only won 1 title, but before he made his first final, he made 11 semis and kept getting knocked out. Some of them in big tournaments like the Grand Prix. He just kept hitting that barrier. But he kept plugging away, and now he's made a whole load of finals. And maybe this is just what he needs. It's just a matter of time, because Mensur is continuing to make progress.
Well, there's no doubt about it. Mensur has raised his darts IQ.
100.
Always a guarantee of getting on telly if you compliment the cameraman.
Doesn't want to be too far behind Mensur. We saw what Gary Anderson did to Phil Taylor, 8 legs on the spin from 2-0 down.
99.
Well,
He has to believe, doesn't he? He has to believe.
Well, you say the word believe, Alan. I have never spoken to a professional dart player before he's about to play in a major final, and when asked the question, do you believe you can win, the answer is no. But Mensur Suljovic,
And it was very quick as well, wasn't it? He didn't think about it too long.
he was absolutely convinced he can't win it. Nonsense. He's already beaten this man once, thrashed him this weekend.
98.
Well, 4 quality players. Anderson, Wright, Chisnell and Barney. Incredible weekend.
79.
All good for the game.
44.
I'm sure he's got a few more fans now.
The old Motown shot, 4 tops. Good enough for Gary Anderson to make it 2-0.
Yeah, Gary will just steadily go about his business. He knows he'll be the favourite.
44.
Can he add another massive title to his already wonderful
60.
list he's accomplished over the last few years?
Well, yeah, 2 world titles, 2 Premier League titles, a Players' Championship finals victory as well. And if he does add this Champions League of Darts title to it, fully half of those big TV titles of the PDC, he will have survived match darts at some point in the tournament before going on and winning. Sometimes you need a bit of luck, but you then have to make the most of it. And Gary Anderson has been superb at doing exactly that.
Well, that's right. Any tournament any player's played in,
79.
either won it or got to the later stages. There's always been moments in that tournament where you could have been beat, or somebody's had a dart to beat you. It's about taking your chance.
140.
Now, Alan, if there are any nerves, particularly for Mensur in this situation,
60.
how long does it take for those to just ease off and for him to just get into this rhythm of a game of darts?
Until he gets the first leg on the board. As soon as he's got that first leg on the board, he'll relax a little bit, not too much. Well, it's not a bad setup there to give him the opportunity to do so.
Yeah, perfect setup shot for Mensur Suljovic to leave the double 6, and this may well be the first leg that Alan Warren, a little former world #1, says is so important to the Austrian.
Ooh, he's looking at the score, double threat. I don't blame him for doing that. Simple reason, if he'd have split the 3, whatever Gary hits here, he would have been coming back to the ball with 3, which isn't easy for any player.
Anderson does leave a Shanghai finish. Now this pressure, and he would go for the double 3, I assure you, if he misses inside, unless he goes 2-double-2. No, he goes straight at the double 3 and pins it, and there is the first leg. Mensur Suljovic is in this final.
Well, both players hovering around 3rd gear at the moment, despite being in the 4th leg. Important for Mensur to get that first one up. But the crowd this weekend's been fantastic. The singing all today, all last night. Hats off to the Cardiff crowd.
95.
Good second dart, hits it over the top.
100.
Oh, we heard plenty of this when Wales had that incredible run
140.
in the football. But it's a Scotsman and an Austrian that are prompting it this evening here at the Motor Point. And they may well get louder if these two do turn it on.
Yeah, they're here to enjoy themselves. The party atmosphere. Always you see at the darts. Doubles. 6 for a 1-3-2.
120.
Mensur came into this with an average just shy of 100 for the tournament. He's a full 10 points below that at the minute, and Gary Anderson is taking advantage. 3-1 to the Flying Scotsman.
We just need a bit of drama. We've had plenty this weekend. Certainly had some today.
45.
Gary Anderson's maximum scoring in the tournament's been
96.
fantastic. Yet to get to those heights in the final.
Now, Mensur, look at this. We've said all weekend that Mensur is a guy who will vary his pace. And he will speed up and slow down, and often he will slow down simply to try and get the best out of himself. Give every dart as much focus and attention as possible, but sometimes he does it to annoy his opponent, and he knows his opponent here is a guy who doesn't like it. This might be the slowest Mensur plays all weekend.
Yeah, the important thing is to maintain a good standard there. So Gary laughing.
140.
It's okay doing that from Mensah's point of view, but he's got to make sure it doesn't affect his own game. But he has been in the past certainly a lot slower than he has been in the last 6-8 months.
Well, Mensur will use every possible thing that he can to try and turn this final his way.
Just have to lead 160 after every leg. No problem.
Yeah, the checkout that booked his place in this final in one of the greatest legs you are likely to see. Raymond van Barneveld, 32 left after 9 darts, and didn't get a poke at it because Suljovic took out a 160 to win.
Yeah, he's had some great finishes this weekend. This is one he needs. Oh, lovely. He decided to go for 20 double 18 instead of 16 tops, and it paid dividends.
Yes, staying with Gary Anderson here. He is still a breakdown, but Mensur Suljovic, he's not got going in this match, and he has not let Gary Anderson get away from him. That was the problem that Gary Anderson found when they met in the group stages. He couldn't stay with Mensur in the early stages, and it just gave him far too much to do. 6-0 down, turned into a 10-3 defeat for the Flying Scotsman. Seems a long while ago now, doesn't it?
It does. It doesn't matter what standard you play at, you can't give anybody a 6-0 lead, can you really, and expect to come up trumps at the end. You just can't do it.
Well, the 6-leg deficit was too much for Phil Taylor to overturn in the end when he took on Gary Anderson in the semis. And look at this, Mensur's taking all the time in the world. Gary Anderson would be better off taking a Sudoku at the back there to do just to pass the time. He's going to have plenty of time.
He's still hitting the target as well. Have to move just underneath.
58.
Starting to not hit the big trebles. Both players just struggling a little bit, finding the range on the treble 20. It's better from Anderson. As soon as he gets one in the top half of that treble, you almost feel he's going to get at least another one in.
This is still an opportunity for Suljovic here. He needs to find one treble, 2 really apply some pressure. Well, it has to be 1 just to get to a finish. He doesn't get it. You can see the frustration from the Austrian.
If he doesn't win this leg, it has been an opportunity missed. It isn't over yet. Both players struggling to hit as many trebles as maybe they expect and we expect. Anderson's on the finish of 138. Suljovic should be on a better one after these.
140.
Left. Huge opportunity for Suljovic to break back. Needs another treble. Not that one, Gary.
Just fired the first dart. Had to be. The Mensah double is trouble for Anderson.
It's trouble for everyone when Mensur Suljovic leaves double 14. Anderson not happy, can't get in a rhythm. Mensur has battled back. He's been nowhere near the level we've seen all the way through this weekend, but he's throwing to go 4-3 up at the first break, and maybe Mensur Suljovic has just scrapped and battled through this first session, and maybe that's all he needed to do to settle down.
Both players have produced some high quality over the weekend. This is more of a grinding battle at the moment. Just try and take as many legs as possible when the game's in that low scoring phase.
46 180s between these two for the weekend. We haven't seen one in this final as yet. I've seen a 171. But Mensah will not care if he goes in 4-3 up at the first break.
There was around 100 in front before that visit. That's a poor visit.
The Pope, Friar Tuck and a bloke in a Phil Taylor shirt. Of course, the Holy Trinity.
Only at the darts. They come here for a party. They have a party. How many sports can produce a party atmosphere and top-level sport all in the same arena?
Gary Anderson does not look like he's in a party mood just there.
123.
The last one to leave a finish.
120.
Difficult one at 145, but Mensah first. Pope at the Shanghai. Trouble for tops.
Tops. One dart missed. It would have put Mensah Suljovic into the lead for the first time in this final. There is a chance that this is going from Anderson. He wants tops as well.
125.
Thought he was going to hit that there, but he just pulled it just at the last moment. Suljovic returns.
Mensah Suljovic goes into the first break 4-3 up. He only managed to win one leg when he made a first appearance in a big TV final. Michael van Gerwen gave him a hiding. But the Austrian is scrapping and battling. And he is in this final with Gary Anderson. The world number 2 was hammered by Mensah in their opening game of the tournament. Maybe Mensah can find a way. Sekker's got title.
Not a classic, but still plenty of drama to unfold.
Maybe, and the Mensah dream is very much still alive. No maximums yet for either Anderson or Suljovic. 24 for Anderson in the tournament, 22 180s for Suljovic. Tell you something, this crowd is noisy, isn't it? I've been to many football grounds and rugby union grounds in the last 24 months or so, but this Cardiff crowd, how those players are keeping concentration is just incredible.
Gary Anderson's used to this with Premier League darts because it's good at Premier League, but this is taking it up a notch. This is Wales. Everybody's singing well here.
Yeah.
And this is something new for Mensah Suljovic. He's never played Premier League darts before. He's never played on this stage until this weekend. Gary's more used to it, but he's not used to the pace of Suljovic. It's one of the reasons why he's a leg behind.
Yep. And if you're giving marks out of 10 for Mensah's final performance so far, Mark, what would you give him?
I'd give him about a 7, because obviously, you'll forgive me, he didn't settle great, but he's clawed his way back in. He's not throwing like he can, but you know, he was broken in his first leg, so to get in the first break lead, and he'll be pleased with that.
Okay, now let's find out more about Mensah's choices.
Either or, what's the score?
Mensah Suljovic, der Gentle.
Double top or double 16?
Doppel 16 immer.
Double 1 or double 3?
Doppel 3.
Mensah Suljovic, you require 92. Treble 20 or ball?
Triple 20.
2 darts in hand. Treble double or double double?
Triple Doppel.
Legs or sets?
Sets.
Best of 11 or best of 21?
Beste auf 21.
Circus Tavern or Lakeside?
Lakeside.
Alexandra Palace or Winter Gardens?
Alexandra Palace.
Premier League or World Series?
Premier League.
Eric Bristow or Jockey Wilson?
Eric Bristol.
Bobby George or Wayne Martin?
Wayne Martin.
Stand up if you love the dance or the very best of order?
Stand up, love the dart.
World champion or world number 1?
World champion.
Check or trophy?
Trophy.
Well, Mensah is out there, ready to go. So too is Gary. And Paul, some of the newspapers, as they were previewing this year's tournament, described Mensah as dangerous. And whoever wrote those articles, surely they would not have even dreamt of what's been happening over the last 2 days, surely.
Well, they were right in saying that he's dangerous. I think
Game on.
That journalist will be surprised with what he's done this week. Mensah Suljovic just said that he can't win this tournament. Well, Mensah, look at the scoreboard. Yes, you can.
Yep. Okay, game on. Let's go back to our commentary team, this time Alan and Vassos.
And we're back on throw. Anderson trailing 4-3 with the darts in this 8th leg. And they might have called him dangerous, but the bookies didn't fancy his chances. 40-1, the outsider of the 8, Mensah Suljovic, before a dart was thrown.
Yeah, I wonder if anybody had a little flutter on that one, because it certainly wasn't expected, but he's earned the right to be there. He's had a smile all weekend. He's going to have to change his name to the Smiling Assassin. He's been fantastic.
60.
And the crowd really have warmed to him.
He's got so much character though, hasn't he? He really has.
140.
And he's producing some high-level darts this weekend. And he looks comfortable up there. That's the important thing when you're, as a top professional, playing in front of the big TV cameras and the big crowds with a lot to play for. You've got to feel comfortable up there so you can produce
92.
your best darts.
Hasn't been intimidated at all. And that 160 checkout to win the semi-final will live long in the memory.
Well, we were at the studio right at the back, and everybody in the studio stood up and jumped up. Everybody in the crowd did the same thing. It was an incredible moment, really, from this weekend, certainly from Mensah's point of view, and for the tournament as well. I'm sure everybody at home loved it.
Misses. 2 darts, a double 10. Gary Anderson. Just needs 1 treble. Mensah Suljovic to have a chance to break. 18 for tops for Suljovic, and 5-3.
Well, he did exactly the same in leg 5, that 116 finish, with Gary Anderson ready to pounce. Gary missed double there on that occasion, and then he stepped in for the 118. He's so good at those finishes around 100.
And Barney was ready to pounce on a double when he took out that 160. He finishes when he needs to, absolutely clinically.
He's showing plenty of composure and bottle. He really is.
Everyone's been talking about how Gary doesn't like playing against him because he's a slower player, but isn't Gary a little long in the tooth now to be affected by that?
You would think so. Gary, you can see that goodness on his face there, mad at himself despite hitting a maximum, because he knows he hasn't been that intense in the last 3 or 4 legs. He's trying to G himself up, getting to the level that we're all used to.
He's lost 5 of the last 6 legs. Gary Anderson missing 8 doubles in the process, including 2 in the last leg to hold his throw.
Well, he's got a chance here. Suljovic doesn't take out the 161.
But it is an if, the way he's been finishing. Can't be done now.
May go for bull with the last one here. Yeah, these are 2 darts because he's a single 19 going for the treble. So what's that dodgy area?
Double 12 and double 6 now for Gary Anderson. Needs it, misses it. It's the old familiar problem for the Flying Scotsman. And Mensah Suljovic can move 3 legs clear now.
Yeah, these are the big moments. Gary for the 2nd consecutive leg missed 2 darts at the double. Mensah has 2 at tops, 1 left for double 10. Important. Oh, he knows it as well. He knows it.
And leg is Gary to throw first. Game on. 59.
Well, Gary Anderson is 3 legs down here. He's throwing first in this 10th leg, and if he loses it, you have to say that Suljovic is the hot favourite.
41.
Favourite as things stand.
Well, he certainly is. Gary just hasn't got his consistent scoring boots on, as we've seen in his last 2 or 3 games. Obviously, that first match didn't get into the tournament, lost 10-3 to Suljovic, as we've mentioned quite a few times since we realised they're both playing each other in the final. He's just not got into that rhythm.
100.
Get that first dart in the treble regularly.
Well, he misses more doubles than most, Gary Anderson, but usually he can afford to because he scores so much more heavily than most. But it hasn't quite happened for him, not in this final. Of course, he'll think he's living on borrowed time anyway, having watched Peter Wright miss 8 match darts against him this afternoon.
Yeah, scoring the biggest part of Gary's armoury. Massive 180 scorer, as everybody knows, and that's one of his perfect markers.
140.
I'll be a bit happier with that one. And you've lost a few legs on the spin and missed darts at doubles to win some of them. It does play on your mind a little bit, so when you get to the double again, you're almost hoping it goes in instead of expecting 55. It to go in.
Well, he won 8 in a row against Phil Taylor. He's lost 6 out of 7, but tops for Gary Anderson. Oh, he's missed another one. 5 since the break. He will be back. Suljovic seems to have gone on holiday in this leg. Finally hits a double 10. Finally wins the leg.
Yeah, he knows he's not playing his best. He knows there's still plenty of time to go. He won't panic yet. He just needs to get into that rhythm. And once he gets in that rhythm, very, very hard to beat. But when you're 2 legs behind, you do have that slight negative thought process there. It's harder to hit the double.
His partner Rachel, remember, expecting their second child any time now. He won his last tournament in Perth, Gary Anderson. And you just get the feeling that he might be
58.
About to peak for some of the big winter majors.
Well, he needs to jump all over this, doesn't he? Because Mensah just slightly lost his scoring power.
If he can break here, Gary Anderson, we're back on throw. He's looked as nervous in this last leg and a half, Mensah Suljovic, as he's looked all weekend.
Probably the first time since he's been favourite.
133
ahead. Many people watching in the audience at that moment in time, because he was 3 legs clear and playing quite well. Gary struggling just a little bit.
Well, Gary's left himself 166, which is a little careless. So you can't take it out in 3 darts.
You can do it in 4.
130.
Missed big 6, but he's left double 18.
81.
Yeah, Mensah just lost his radar. That'll make Gary feel a whole lot better, not just winning the leg, breaking the throw and hitting the double with the first dart. It's so important for a player.
140.
Oh, he may have found his rhythm now. Yep. Oh, look at this from Mensah Suljovic, slowing things down. It's quite canny, it's quite crafty. Is it going to work?
Yeah, he's doing the slow-mo.
100.
It's not going to work. Emphatically not. Oh, that's unlucky, off the barrel and into the 1.
Unlucky with the last one, but you just feel that Gary has got his game back on track after 2 or 3 legs where he's lost his scoring a little bit and missed a couple of opportunities to take legs, put the pressure on himself, but it looks like he's got himself back in the groove.
95.
I think Gary could probably throw 9 or 12 darts in the time it takes Mensah to throw 3.
95.
Downstairs for the 19s, because he's on 306.
139. Gary Uruguay, 145.
Treble 15. For Tops for a 145 to level this final.
125.
Not far away.
167.
They missed that very early on in the match, didn't he? But Mensah just
45.
not at the races in the last 5 or 10 minutes, and Gary's taking advantage. He's got his game back on track. 6 apiece.
Who's favourite now?
Well, you would have to say Gary.
100.
I mentioned Suljovic was 40-1 before a dart was thrown. Gary Anderson, the 9-2 second favourite,
97.
behind Michael van Gerwen.
That's better from Mensah. Can he fill it in?
100.
Oh, much better from Mensah.
100.
Anything you can do, says Gary Anderson.
Well, they've both decided to play darts. Oh, one on the floor. Not counted as thrown because he dropped it. Just composing himself again.
105.
Thinking 25 to leave himself 116 rather than 121.
That's the require 116.
It's a useful visit from Anderson. This is to hold his throw for Suljovic. 116.
Took this out in leg 5. Took that fabulous 118 out in leg 8. But not on this occasion.
56. Gary require 84.
Right then, treble 20 for double 12. 14 leaves the bullseye for Anderson to move
59.
ahead.
Nancy require 60.
Well, he was hoping for the treble 20, obviously, for his favourite double 12. Still had a punt at the ball, but couldn't quite hit it. Mensah really needs to get this.
Getting shot the 30.
Yeah. He knows that's important. Even at the midway through this match. Important moments.
81.
Moves ahead again. Mensah Suljovic. There'll be a brief interval at the end of this leg, and then we're to a finish. First to 11 to be crowned Champions League champion 2017 and win £100,000.
140.
50 grand on offer for the loser here this evening.
And the title, that's the important one. I know quite a few of the players in their interviews said check or trophy. They said check.
84.
It's their decision.
Well, the checks come with trophies. If you win a trophy, you get the check.
140.
If you get the check, you can buy a trophy.
140 remaining after 9 darts for Gary Anderson.
80. Gary require 140.
They're looking good for 7 apiece. They go for 2 tops here. Yeah. Son's okay. He leaves himself at the top of the shop for 7 apiece at the break.
$45. Gary require 40.
So, tops for Anderson under not much pressure. Under no pressure, really. There's the double 10. There's the...
There was, of course, yesterday, Vassos, and that might mean that he's got the inspiration.
Suljovic with the darts at the start of this
140.
15th leg in the final. 7 apiece, the first to 11 will be crowned champion.
100.
Yes, we're getting closer. Who's your money on at home? Anderson has been here so many times before. Suljovic looking for his first major PDC TV title.
99.
He's had a fantastic weekend.
Weekend of his life.
100.
Certainly his darting life.
He's certainly gained a few more fans as well as a few more banknotes. A bit more confidence as well.
Yeah, consider us all Mensa maniacs now. Mensa mania
138.
has gripped this city, has gripped this arena. Since he came out yesterday, and with a big grin on his face, he won 6 legs in a row against Gary Anderson. Who knew then that this would be the final? 6 darts if he needs them from 1-2-4.
He's just checking. Should go for treble 16. He knows what he wants. He's just making sure. Double 8.
108.
Well, that would have been a 12-dart leg. Having spent the entire break up on stage throwing darts.
57.
When he's practicing, he throws much quicker than he does during a match. Another go at double 8 for Suljovic to move ahead again.
There's no pressure on it, but you've got to get these really early, just to maybe help you a little bit more in the remainder of the match.
No score.
Well, that's unlucky. He will be returning, but it won't do his confidence any good.
No, 4 missed doubles, all of them at double 8.
61. Mensa requires 16.
5th time lucky.
Taking his time.
These look like nervy darts here.
8 score. Gary requires 128.
He's making a big mess of this one. Gary Anderson was so far behind. If he can hit treble 20 here, he will have a shot at the ball.
87.
Mensa with a head down there, feared the worst.
Well, and so he might, having missed 8 shots at double 8. How's the double 4? Much better. Finally wraps up the leg, finally holds his throw, but Gary Anderson will have sensed the nerves. And that's what he's doing about them.
Yeah, he certainly will. He senses a little bit of nerves there for Mensa. Looking for his first title in this final. But Mensa still plugging away. 8-7 ahead. First to 11.
The Anderson fans find their voice. Well,
60.
We've had 4 breaks of throw, so we're back on throw. And is this another maximum for Gary Anderson? It is, you know, it's his 4th of the final, his 28th of the weekend. And it leaves him on a potential 11-dart leg.
Yeah, despite being behind, as Mensa looking for his maximum, and he gets it. Anderson by hitting 2s on 61, so it looks like it could go to 8 apiece. Double 18.
Game shot on the 16th leg.
How about that? 11 darts. Thank you very much.
First. Game on.
That's better, Gary. Now then, next couple of legs have to be crucial.
100.
Important last one. He's wondering where that one came from. Why didn't I do that before?
It's become the best of 5.
95.
All of a sudden.
Yeah, you can just feel a little bit of tension, can't you, in the auditorium. Mensa's taking his time. It's building the pressure.
It's a wild second dart.
125.
But a good recovery.
Yeah, he's got to keep trying to hold his throw and keep the pressure on the world number 2.
140.
Gary responding as well. This leg up for grabs.
If it does go to 10 apiece, then Mensur Suljovic will have the advantage of throwing first, having won the bull-up before this final.
140.
Oh, I wonder if the players sense how close they are now to the finishing line. I'm sure they do, because they both just increased the intensity on the scoring.
137.
Very good cover on the 19. Suljovic with a first crack at a big checkout.
That's the first one.
Well, he won't be gutted not to have left double eight, having missed it 8 times 2 legs ago. Now this would be a lusty blow to land. Can't do it now.
Oh, mad at himself, Gary, there. He really fancied a chance at least the ball there. He really did.
And you require 40.
Tops for Suljovic to move 9-8 ahead within 2 legs of the trophy. Takes a moment, puffs out his cheeks, takes aim at the top of the board. 2 10s, 2 5s, this is tension. That's brilliant.
Well, the first 2 weren't that close. The pressure was on, but he responded well. He kept his composure.
60.
What a big dart. What a big dart. Huge pressure now on Gary Anderson to hold his throw. And he's only started with a 60. If Suljovic can break the Anderson throw here, he's 2 up with 3 to play and will be throwing first
60
in the next leg.
Both
the
players
19th.
only starting with 60 as well.
Where have the trebles gone?
96.
There's one of them.
It's okay when you're throwing first. If you're throwing second and trying to break, you need a little bit more.
44.
Another poor visit for Suljovic.
Well, if he'd started ton 40,
125.
Suljovic, Gary Anderson would be in all sorts of trouble, but once again, Anderson seems to have wriggled out of a tough situation. But back comes Mensur Suljovic.
You wonder, don't you, where that comes from after 2 3 poor visits.
140.
And then you hit a maximum. What a crazy game.
Anderson hanging on. Will he need to take out that 80? It's a wild dart.
57. Gary, require 80.
Just changed his mind at the last minute there.
Tops.
And he's gone for this as well. It's not a flyer.
Game's on the 18th.
Oh, nicely done, Gary.
19 legs, Mensur to throw first. Game on.
Right, 9-all, race to 11.
Both players striving for that moment to win this title. We're getting closer.
140.
Good visit from both players. Whoever wins this leg will be 1 leg away from the title.
Gary Anderson's average is near on 100 now, but look at that from Suljovic.
100.
Not even 90.
Well, in the early part of the game, both players were averaging mid-80s. It did rise slightly, but Gary Anderson's gone, certainly in the last 7-8 legs, his scoring has been a lot better. It's those missed doubles that cost you the average scores. When you have, everybody has 1 or 2 darts, but when you're having 3, 4 or 5, makes a big dent in those statistics.
97.
Great last dart. Wonderful last dart.
Leaves himself on a finish, on the big finish. Adrian Lewis has taken out 170, but from a man who took out 160 to reach the final, this would be to move a leg away from the trophy. He can't do it, needed 2 treble 20s and the bullseye, but Gary Anderson on 178 can't finish.
72 left for Suljovic. Anderson should be on something decent here, and he will be after that first start slip.
Manzi requires 72.
Tension, real tension here.
We'll find out a lot about his bottle right here. Pulled that one. Bullseye he needs. Mensur Suljovic for 10-9.
33.
Well, the first start was the problem there. Put him on the back foot. Had to go for the bull route. This is a big, big chance for Gary Anderson. Treble 18. He may go for 2 doubles here. No. Thought he might have done.
86.
Changed his mind.
39.
11 double 14. Does he go his favourite double? Or does he go 7 double 16? Bear in mind, he's just missed 8 darts at double 8.
Well, I'll keep away from there then.
So it is 11. And a small adjustment to double 14, his favourite double, and he loves it just a little bit more now, because that dart in the double 14 bed moves Mensur Suljovic to within 1 leg of the title.
1 leg away for the Austrian. Mensa Mania will take over Cardiff. Gary starts the leg with a 140.
97.
Hanging in there. Will we have a last leg decider? Gary's hoping so.
140.
Back-to-back ton 40s. When he really needs them, Gary Anderson. It looks like we are going all the way, because Mensa's trebles have dried up in this leg. He's been here before, Gary Anderson. He's handled the pressure. He is, of course, a 2-time world champion.
Well, if you wanted drama, we're going to get it. We really are. Well, a 180 will leave a finish.
How about that? Double 17 would have left the bull.
41.
Mistake from Anderson. 80's not a gimme. 164 can be done. It can't now. Just the setup needed.
18s will go forward his last
58.
dart. Full pressure on this 80 for Gary Anderson. So 20 and tops. He went for 2 double tops. He just got 1 dart
60.
at it and misses it. And how about this now? Mensur Suljovic, 106 points from the title.
The crowd are responding. He hit that magnificent 160. Probably the best finish of his life. If he can hit this one, it will be the biggest finish of his life, because it will be his first major TV PDC title. And the shot is on. 46.
His favourite double for the title, double 14, he's missed it. Oh, he's missed it. So Gary Anderson breathes again. 9 times he's had match dart against him this week. Double 5,
he's missed it. He's missed it.
No.
He can't believe it. Mensah can't believe it.
28.
He's looking for some inspiration from somewhere.
Oh, he takes a moment to compose himself, and why not? This is the moment of Mensur Suljovic's darting life.
If you ask Mensah Suljovic if he was on 3 darts and a double to win a major title, what would it be, Vassos?
It would be double 14. He loves double 14. And that's what he needs. Stares at the red bit.
He's done it!
Hits it!
Mensah has done it!
Mensah Suljovic! Mensah Suljovic is the Champions League champion of 2017. Mensah shows his darting intelligence and the emotions that come with the biggest win of his life. He came as the 40-to-1 outsider. No one gave him a hope, if we're honest. But 3 wins out of 3 in the group stages, a magnificent semi-final victory with a 160 checkout, and he held his nerve to see off the world number 2, Gary Anderson, 11-9 in a pulsating final. We'll say it again, Mensah Suljovic.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely incredible. What a magnificent final. And now it's time for our presentation. Would you please welcome the commercial manager of the Professional Darts Corporation, Mr. Adam Perfect. And on behalf of Unibet, the head of UK sponsorship, Mr. Ed Nicholson. Well, ladies and gentlemen, our runner-up receiving his trophy and £50,000, and it goes to the Flying Scotsman, Gary Anderson. Ladies and gentlemen, the moment we've all been waiting for. Our winner receiving the magnificent trophy. £100,000 in prize money. And for the very first time in his career, a major PDC televised title as we now crown him the Unibet Champions League of Darts Champion 2017. Ladies and gentlemen, the gentle Mensah Suljovic.
Mensah, many congratulations. The 2017 Unibet Champions League of Darts champion. How do you feel?
Perfect feeling. Thank you, Manny. Thank you, Publico. Thank you, guys.
Mensah, all day you've been telling me that you could not win this. You said Gary is still here, Phil Taylor's still here. You've beaten these players. Do you believe now that you can? You've won it.
I never think I have win this tournament. I tell you yesterday, tell you today. Gary is a brilliant player. He's a gentleman. This is respect for this guy. Absolutely. I play well. I keep my pace. I never give up. Big Gary Anderson, better right. Gary Anderson, two-time big. Yeah.
I'm going to have a word with Gary while you enjoy the moment. Gary, come in. you've got a huge smile on your face as you have all weekend. Just a word on this guy. What a popular winner.
He's nuts. Honestly, he's nuts. No, listen, Mensah was picked for the Premier League last year, and he refused it down to family. You know, family comes first. This year, I mean, the man's been brilliant in the last 2 years. Phenomenal. I mean, he's been the best player this week or weekend, you know, and he deserves it. You know, he's brilliant.
Well, you played your part in a terrific final, so Gary, thank you once again. And Mensah, just a final word from you, and for all these fans who've enjoyed seeing you play and the smile on your face, does this now make you believe that you can win more? You can win more of these trophies?
Thank you on the fans. Thank you, sponsor. Thank you, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 2017 Unibet Champions League of Darts champion is the Gentle.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Well. I'm trying to avoid saying incredible scenes, but I think what we're seeing is just absolutely incredible, because let's face it, this fella has been brilliant for the tournament. He's been brilliant for darts. He's a top player, breaking into the world's top 8. And look at what he's done. This is just an incredible fairy tale story.
It's an incredible weekend, and sometimes sport needs an unusual thing to happen. Nobody predicted this. It has happened, and it's brought a smile to a lot of faces in the darting community here in Cardiff.
Yeah, I'm absolutely delighted for the guy. I mean, the crowd love him. He's been fantastic this weekend, and as no doubt, he's been the best player, and he's a deserving champion.
Amazing, and even the most ardent darts fan would say, look, Mensah's been playing well, he's a top player, but when you consider the field, Paul, the world champions who are here, this is an amazing achievement.
It's an incredible achievement. He's proved to himself and to the rest of the world just how good he is. He may have played his worst game in the final, but he finds a way to win. And he's done that. He did the game against Peter Wright last night. He lifted his level. But now, in this final, he just did enough. And he had bottle and resolve.
Talking of lifting, the Principality Stadium is just across the way. That has a roof. And when Mensah nailed that double 14, the roof was off this arena.
Yeah, definitely. And I think he egged the crowd on, because he delayed before going for it. And I thought that could have been to his detriment, but fair play, cool as you like, first out, smacking the double 14. And just a fantastic achievement. And this will open up avenues for him now. He should compete in the Premier League next year, I think. He normally does when champions come. And he'll be returning to this comp next year. And what he'll do for his confidence, he'll feel like he can intimidate players now, because he's got that major title under his belt.
Wonderful stuff. Thank you very much indeed, Paul and Mark, for your company this weekend. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Hope you've enjoyed our coverage of the darts. It has been an incredible story for Mensah Suljovic. He is the new champion of Cardiff.